Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Entrepreneurship Open Elective. And I would like to start with, internal activities. See, it's an entrepreneurial, entrepreneurship course. So the activities will be quite, different than a normal subject. It will be like, project-based learning, correct? And all the activities have to be done in the form of a team, right? So we have total 10 weeks of these activities, and in between you have to present also. So week 0 will consist of your entrepreneurial lifestyle, and the topic and the coverage will be to get inspired about entrepreneurship. So why you should take up on this journey and start discovering your own entrepreneurial style. So that will be the coverage of topic for week 0. And the objective will be to inspire you all with the right expectation of the course, the progress you all are expected to make. Okay. And there are no marks allotted for week 0. Now for week 1, we have a broad topic is opportunity and problem. So in week 1, we will be identifying a problem worth solving, convert the problem into an opportunity, will apply a design thinking to understand the problem better, and brainstorm to come up with a business opportunity, right? So the objective will be to identify or validate a problem that is worth solving, and then turn that problem solving into a business opportunity, correct? So the outcome will be a clearly defined problem statement with a business opportunity at the end of week 1. Now, week 2 will be based on market opportunity. So we'll be learning about the market and the customer segment discovery. You will understand the scope of the market and identify the customer segment for your own business opportunity or your venture, right? So there are milestones. Milestone 1 will be based on the work done in week 1 and 2. All the milestones, the template will be provided to you well in advance. I guess by today evening, I will be uploading all the milestones format so that you are ready. So milestone 1 will be a part of your IA1, right? Internal assessment 1. So whatever topics we have covered in week 1 and week 2 will be covered in milestone 1, right? And milestone 1 will be presented in the form of a team. Then comes the week 3. In week 3, we'll be building or iterating a solution that solves a customer's problem and makes the customer's life better, right? So you'll be working on your MVP, right? A minimum viable product, and outcome will be a value proposition and MVP. Week 4 will is very important. It's based on your finance and unit economics, right? So for entrepreneurs, the finance part is a very crucial part. So we will estimate the real cost for your venture and likely revenue and calculate the price of 1 unit per product or your service. So there will be we will be studying about various financial terms such as customer acquisition cost, customer lifetime value, average revenue per user, churn rate, and net profit margin. Okay, so this is what we will learn in week 4. Now in week 5, the topic is competitive advantage, right? So you have to, carefully consider and identify the product benefits that you offer, by the competitors, direct and indirect, so that you can build a product or your service with a unique differentiator that will matter the most to the potential customers, right? So here we'll study about the competition analysis and blue ocean strategy, right? So an outcome will be you will be developing a service or a product with a unique differentiator that will compel the customers to switch from competitor to you, right? So after week 3, 4, and 5 are over, you will have milestone 2, right? So based on the work done in week 3, 4, 5, you will have milestone 2. Again, it has to be presented in a form of a team, and you will have it is a part of your IA1 assessment. Then in week 6, we'll be learning about the business model and the sustainability, right? So let's say you have identified your problem to be solved. Then you have built an MVP around it. Now you want to check whether your business is sustainable or no, right? Whether how long it will can survive, right? So you will map a business model that will work and bring in money into the business, right? So the outcome will be a workable business model that is a lean canvas model that shows how the money comes in and goes out. Okay. So you will also have expenses and you will earn revenue from your venture as well. So all that we will discuss in week 6. Now, week 7 will be again, a very important team building and hiring, right? So it's about selecting the best team. So to introduce the importance of putting the right team, identify the skills critical into your business together, and introduce the basis of very good hiring strategy, right? So any good startup requires a very strong team and the best team for that matter. So in week 7, we will be developing a strong hiring strategy and plan to build skills critical to the success of the business, right? So that will be about week 7. In week 8, we'll be discussing about another important topic, that is sales and marketing, right? So you have your MVP ready. You have to bring it to the market, right? Now you have to present it. I mean, people don't know about your product. Maybe it's new. Maybe it's an alternative to the any other product which is there in the market. So how will you feel your presence felt in the target segment? So this is what you will be learning in week 8. You will be learning about customer engagement and go to the market strategy. So also you will be start building customers for your business, and you will develop a workable and realistic sales pitch, sales plan, and report, and build your first customers using this strategy, right? So week 8 is all about sales and marketing. Then your milestone 3 will be based on week 6, 7, and 8. And that will be a part of IA2. Okay. Then week 9 is all about investability, right? So, to be able to grow in the business 10x times, to draw up a funding plan that is reasonable and ambitious, right? To be able to aware of the legal compliances relevant to one's venture. So that is all we will be discussing in equity and funding. So whether you are self-financing your startup or you're bootstrapping, or you are pitching in front of your investors and you all want the external funding. So all that things you will be studying in investability, whether you should seek for funding right at the start, or you should bootstrap. Bootstrap meaning you will self-finance your startup, right? And also there are various legal compliances once you register as a company, right? There are various types of companies. You have LLB, you have solo, and you will also have public domain. So there are various kinds of companies which you can register. And nowadays the norms are quite flexible, and we will see about that in detail about it in week 9. And then comes your final pitch deck. Milestone 4 will be your pitching your venture, right? Whatever you have learned in all the 9 weeks, you will be presenting in milestone 4. So that will be your ultimate outcome. And that again will be in a team, and that will be a part of your IA2 assessment. Okay. So I have told you all about IA1 and IA2 assessments, and these are all the internal assessment activities. Correct. So do you all have any doubt before I move on to the actual presentation? I'll be sharing this document with you all.
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
Yeah,
Sir, I didn't get what is MVP. Could you please little bit elaborate?
MVP is a minimum viable product. So let's say, for example, you're building an app, right? You're providing some service. Let's consider Zomato or Uber app, right? So what will be your MVP in that case? Your MVP will be a wireframe or a paper model that you will present key how it will look like. Correct. So you will develop a website or a something, and you will showcase it to your customers and find out what other features might be required. So it is a kind of a first version of your product, right? With not all the
Okay.
features, but enough that the customers would be able to be satisfied with it. So it's a very first version with limited resources, but it will fulfill what customers desire. So that is what does MVP means. It's not a
Okay, sir.
full-fledged product. It's the first version of your product.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. You will be learning about it. No worries, and you all will be building MVPs.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Only thing is, it is advisable to form a team. So I'll be sharing the details about it by tomorrow. And even if you want to go solo, it's no problem at all. But y'all are around 42 of y'all together. So y'all can easily form a team, right? Y'all can discuss among yourself. I am not putting any restrictions on the roll number wise. and maximum members can be 3 or 4 or 5. No, hard or fast rule on that number, but minimum, I will prefer it to be a minimum of 2 members in a team. Okay. If you're not comfortable with 2 members also, solo is also fine with me. But remember, whatever team can achieve, a solo member can achieve the same, but with little more efforts. So yeah, this is about the internal assessment activities. And now we'll come to, now you all have now, what is the expectation from your side? So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you have to, I mean, we will be discussing about various topics, but at the end, you have to identify a problem worth solving. Okay. So look around y'all, that what problems does, and you all face on daily basis, right? You have to observe. Now, definitely you cannot go outside and observe people, right? So you can, listen to the news, or you look people around, be aware of what is going on around, right? And what you wish to solve. I mean, is there a problem which someone is facing, and whether you have that vision and passion that you can solve that problem. So first of all, you have to identify a problem to worth solving, and then you have to convert that into a business opportunity, right? How will you convert that into business opportunity? Well, you will have to talk to the customers. You have to interview them, why they are facing that problem, and what is the root cause of that problem, right? And whether there is an existing solution for it, and whether you are providing a more better solution or robust solution, or you are completely disrupting the market and providing something very unique. So that you have to decide as a part of a team. So I'm telling you all right now, you all have around 1 month time. There's enough time to you all to think and explore. You see, a lot of startups are coming up. You all can also read about that. It's absolutely fine to take up idea which is already existing, but it should be your personal touch in it. It's not about this idea is executed. There are a lot of apps. I mean, Zomato, and we have I think Swiggy, right? So how they coexisted in the market? They are offering some unique solution. It's not that you cannot work on the similar ideas which are already existing, but it has to be your own way and how you are executing it, how differently you are doing it. So that is more important, right? So we will be learning about it. Also, I'll be sharing some, ideas, and but you have to do it yourself, right? You have to come up with your own venture idea, which you want to work on and which you're passionate about. And I think number one reason that's why you have selected this open elective on entrepreneurship, that you want to learn the aspects of entrepreneurship. See, entrepreneurship will not only, make you self-dependent, you will be boss of your own life. Also, it will give you a kind of a self-confidence, right? You will learn management skills. You'll learn how to interact with the customers, and it will build up your confidence to next level. That's more important, right? And it will teach you all the life lessons you want to learn. Correct? So all that you will be learning more about it in entrepreneurship course. But I give you a heads up, in 1 month time, you have to come up with a problem worth solving and convert that into a business opportunity. Fine. And you all have to present it over here in the form of teams. So let's continue further. Let me see what I have in the form of slides. Yeah. Are the slides visible to you? Entrepreneurship
Yes,
session
sir.
one. Yes. Okay, so let's begin. Yeah, now the session starts. Session number 1. So this is a normal typical startup journey. What I talked about is that first point, pitching an idea. Identify a problem worth solving, right? It should be close. I mean, customers should be, agitated. Why I'm not getting this solved? It should be that. It should be close to their heart. And if you really solve that, then it's definitely a business opportunity. Then understanding how to get an effective customers feedback, right? Now, let's say that you have built up a very good product, technical product, you love that idea a lot, right? You feel that it will work, and it will definitely, it should come in the market. It's working wonderfully well, and it's cost effective, everything. But later on, you find out that no one is buying it, right? Apart from few, no one is buying it. So how will it work? How will the business work, right? The business will work when someone will use your service or use your product, which you have made. correct? So, it should be market ready. That's fine, but it should be acceptable in the market also. So you have to do a lot of research before investing your time and money and resources, right? So you will understand how to, effectively engage with the customers and learn about their, what they think about this, problem which you're trying to solve. Then we're learning about the circular design thinking, then iterating using your lean startup. See, it's not that you have, jotted down some idea and you'll be working on it linearly ahead. There are no improvements on that previous model which you have done, right? And initially, whenever you think of an idea or something, it's always based on assumptions. Every day, day in and day out, you based on assumptions, right? You don't have any data. You search for it. Again, you assume. So it's based on every assumption. So you more you get into this, more and more, whatever assumptions you have made earlier, you keep on validating them. And more assumptions you keep on validating, the more confident you become that, okay, fine, this is what my vision was, and it's looking into, proper shape. So, and then we will, also talk about the creating a minimum viable product, right? So you have talked to your customers, you got their feedback, and it's all working well. You have, sorted out all your technicalities, and then you are working on your MVP. So after you work on your MVP, you go back to the customers and, interview them, ki whether this is what you were looking for. If no, you do some improvement. And again, this process will keep on repeating. You go back, go to the drawing board, validate the assumption which you have made, and again come back to it, right? And all that will be captured in the business model canvas, which we'll call it as short form as BMC, or it's also called as a lean canvas. So creating a business model canvas will give you a bird's eye view of entire process which is going on. In short, how the money goes out and comes in, how your business works, will be captured by business model canvas. And also we'll be studying about the customer journey maps, right? And start selling the idea. So we will practice some, negotiation skills, sales strategy, marketing skills, investability part, how to pitch an idea. All that will be looking in a typical startup journey. So yeah, this is a very nice quote which I've, read, and I want to share it with you all. That challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming that is what makes life meaningful. So this is a very, useful strategy which many of, people use. SMART objective. Now, SMART stands for, S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A is for achievable, R is for realistic, and T is for timely. Okay, SMART goals, which we call it. So what do you mean by specific? What do you, want to do? So be very, very specific about that. Measurable will be, how will I know when it's fulfilled? It should be measurable also. Then achievable. How can I achieve this goal? Realistic. Can you realistically achieve it? And timely. When exactly do you want to accomplish it? Okay, so you should work on this SMART objective. This is an example of a SMART objective. Our goal ultimately is to increase traffic to a web page. Let's say that you have designed a web page for, some cause and your customer wants it. So how will you take care of this SMART objective? How will you be specific? So, in the specific, you will like to increase your traffic of your website by increasing the frequency of weekly publications from 10 to 5 times a week. So let's say your content writers will increase your workload from 5 to 10 posts per week. So that is what you mean by very specific, right? You want to increase the traffic, but you have to be specific and put some numbers. So it will be increased from 10 to, 5 to 10 posts per week. So that is what you mean by specific. Measurable. So the goal of increasing the traffic to a web page will be like, you want to increase a 9% increase in the traffic. Okay, that is your goal. So this is your measurable goal, right? Achievable will be that you want your website traffic increase 4% last month when we increase our weekly publication frequency to 5 times per week, right? So you have some numbers again that when your posts were 5 times per week, when you posted 5 times per week, then you had around traffic of around, let's say, 50%. And now by increasing to 10 posts per week, I have a 54% increase in my web traffic. So that is what the achievable goal. Then relevant. So by increasing the traffic of your website, you will increase your brand awareness and generate more potential customers and generating more sales opportunities. Okay. So you'll increase the number of sales if more customers visit your website, and that will also create your brand awareness, and also it will increase the traffic of your website. So that is what we call it as a relevant. Then the time, you want to achieve this target within a month. So that is your time. Your smart objective will be combining everything together. At the end of this month, our website will see a 9% increase in the traffic by increasing a weekly publication frequency from 5 publications per week to 10 publications per week. Okay, so that's an example of a smart objective. Now, why be an entrepreneur, right? There are some perks of being an entrepreneur. You work for yourself. But you have to seek for, if you require some guidance that, for any other job, you work under some organization, they will provide you some training, they will provide you some guidance. But an entrepreneur is creating jobs, right? And you have all the freedom, but you have all the responsibility. You're creating something, but you have a high failure rate. Okay, in a job, you're creating something, but the failure rate is very low because it has been supervised by many levels. Then it's also very exhilarating, but also you have deep anxieties for and so this is about why be an entrepreneur. Then entrepreneurial mindset. So there are 10 signs that you have an entrepreneurial mindset. Let's discuss that. I have to go out of the presentation and go back to the PDF. So yeah, I hope this is visible to you. So these are 10 signs that you have a entrepreneurial mindset. Okay. If you are a creative thinker, right? If you are a creative thinker, that means that is one of the good signs that you find yourself constantly looking for creative ways to solve a problem, right? See, there can be many ways to solve a particular problem, but the most effective way will be the creative way, which will be like the most unique and we can say cost effective and with the maximum features. Yes, so very creative way, thinking out of the box, and you get things done, right? That's another sign of being an entrepreneur. You tend to spring into action when you came across an innovative ideas. So entrepreneurs are set apart from the crowd because they are the doers. They don't just plan, keep on planning, they execute that plan. Then you don't take no for an answer. So being an entrepreneur, you have the perseverance to overcome the obstacles that stand in the way of your success. So they possess their persuasion skills and do not accept rejection easily. And then you take failures in stride. You believe that taking risk and failing is a part of a process. So failing is something you embrace as a lesson to learn from. Okay. So you take failures in stride. Then you reject the employee mindset. Okay. You reject the notion of working as an employee for a paychecks. You have a strong desire to be your own boss. Okay. So that's what, one of the other signs of being an entrepreneur. You are a self-starter. So being your own boss requires discipline and accountability. So you're willing to take initiative and implement actions on your own. Okay. And you are extremely passionate. You are driven to work hard and make sacrifices in order to achieve success. Right. So at the end of the day, the entrepreneurs have the passion to do what they do. Then you possess people skills. So being an extrovert is not required, but having communication and leadership skills is necessary. So you're prepared to constantly network, form partnerships, and attract potential customers, right? And you don't mind a little competition. So your inherent desire is to strategize and to win. So a little bit of rivalry drives you to be better. Ultimately, be the best of what you want to achieve. And then you work hard. You're willing to work hard around the clock to achieve your dreams. So it may take time, to achieve your goal, but you work hard and with dedication and you're prepared for that. So these are the 10 signs that you have a entrepreneurial mindset, right? I hope that, some of you can correlate, so these are the 10 signs of being having an entrepreneurial mindset. Any questions so far over here? or else I can proceed. Anyone? Okay. So why entrepreneurship course? So these are the course objectives which are defined in the syllabus. That is to develop entrepreneurial ideas, to mature you all to the point of launching your ideas using a lean launchpad, business model canvas, and customer discovery process. Then to identify the business opportunity and to learn how to raise funds during a life cycle of a new venture. Now, I wanted to hear it from y'all. Some few feedbacks you can type in the message or you can unmute and ask, what are your expectations from this course? So based on that, I will also tune my, whatever the delivery mechanism and the contents which I am sharing with you all so that I can stress more on that points. So what are your expectations from this course? Anyone can volunteer and speak?
Uh, so my expectation is to learn how to develop business model for
Okay.
our business, profitable business model for our business.
Profitable and sustainable. Okay, fine. Yeah. Any other?
I do have a business idea and plan, but I would love to learn the details of how a startup works and what are, say, the financing models, what are the particular fine details about investing and those kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah. So we have all the activities and week activities on based on that. So yes, we will be covering all those topics.
Sir, process to sustain and start up business.
Okay, yes, that's a part of a startup journey. Yes, we'll be definitely cover that. Any other?
Sir, I wish to learn more on how to convert a problem statement into a business idea.
Yes, yeah. So first step in that, I have, given you all 1 month to find out a problem worth solving. We'll be, continuing with some topics and some theories and some, some sessions based on how to find out the ideas. But ultimately, you have to find out a particular idea, and then to where to take that idea from and how to convert into a business opportunity. We'll be learning various strategies and various topics on that are also covered in this course. So yes, we'll be covering that.
Yes, sir.
So how to find out inefficiencies?
How to find out? Sorry, I missed out. Can you
How
repeat?
to find out inefficiencies?
Okay, how to find out inefficiencies? Okay, fine. At what stage? Yeah, I mean, you have an idea and you want in your business or I didn't get efficiencies in in which stage?
No, so as in general in any, matlab, how are we not technologically advanced in a point? I mean,
Okay, okay.
in
See,
any
I will
sector.
give you correct, correct. I'll give you a very, grave, recent example. There are many unicorns. You know what is unicorns, right? Those who have raised several, millions of dollars of money, and they achieved a unicorn status. And there are a lot of startups which are coming up, right now from India also and from abroad as well. So what happens is that all of them are not technopreneurs. Now you know what is technopreneurs, right? That you know what you're doing, correct? And it might happen that you have an idea, but you don't have the right skills. You don't have the technical skills to execute it. I'll just give you an example of that, right? So let's say that you want to open up an app similar to Zomato. Now you know what the Zomato does. You're very good in networking. You're very good in logistics, but you're not very good in building an app, right? So you'll select a team member which is very strong in building an app. So that is what is, that is what we mean by, being selecting the right team, right? You hire people to do a particular job, but your maximum inner jobs which you have, that is, in building an app, you should know, all in and out about it, right? In being logistics, you should have in and out about it. What my point I'm trying to make is that you don't have to be master. If you're master in, in providing the solution, then no, nothing better than that. But if you're not, it's okay. There are many instances in which the idea which the founders, the startup founders had, they don't have any expertise in that, and they don't hide that fact, right? They just keep your team together and select the right people for the job, right? So it's not always key you should be able to do everything. Yes, initially your the entrepreneur which is working on his initial idea in the early stages, you should be should be you should be able to satisfy various roles, that you should be aware about the marketing strategies, sales strategies. You should know whether to go for investibility or no. You should know every department, right? But at the very end, you have to be specialist in one thing, one or the other thing, right? You cannot fulfill all the roles in the long run. Initially, yes, you have to do everything on your own, but later on, you have to rely on your teams, right? And only those startups which relied on the team have success. Those people who think that, okay, I will only earn all the money and I will not share my idea with anyone, others will steal my idea. That doesn't work that way. You have to keep the trust in the people and move ahead. So yes, technical skills are required, and there are some technical startups also which only purely based on technical skills. But again, it should sell in the market. That's the most important thing. There is no use of building an app who doesn't. There are millions of app in the app store now, and it should solve a problem and it should satisfy a customer need. Then only they will buy or use that service. Okay. Any other expectations from the course? Anyone else? You can freely speak. And I tell you, yeah, someone was saying.
So how to make the right connections or how to improve the network.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, networking, you want to make it stronger. Yeah, correct. You all will be doing as a part of a milestone, as in, it's a part of that. You have to, interview customers, talk to them, and you will get to know, whether, see, it's not that every time whatever comes to your mind, it's gold, right? But you jot it down in a piece of paper, whatever comes to your mind, and you keep on working on that. If it doesn't work, you think of something else. It's no harm in that, right? So yeah, any other thing, or I can proceed ahead? Anyone else wants to share their expectations from the course?
So yes, like just now you said like how to choose the right people for your team. So I want to learn that so I can trust in them. I don't have a doubt that they would cheat or take away my idea. So how to think like that and build a team that I can trust.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we were talking about, how to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Correct. And there were some instances that people have started their venture alone, and they later on find that it was very taxing to do everything on their own. And later on, they found some good mentors, which were later on as a team, they added as a team. But because see, ultimately it's all about business, right? So if you're taking someone, you have to give them certain percentage of profits, right? So that is also there. We'll be talking about equity and everything later on. But yeah, you should make them believe that why they should join your venture, and how your venture will look into the future for from 2 or 3 years from now, and how that their progress is linked attached to that, their success is attached to that. If they see that happening, they will definitely be a part of you. Okay, so and also we'll say that, okay, my friend can be my team member later on. No, it doesn't happen that way. There were many instances also in which case that whenever friends have started their startups, I'm not discouraging that. It's absolutely a good idea. But in some instances it happened that the priorities in life changes. So when you are a student studying in an engineering college, your priorities are different. You have no choice but to be together. Correct. But once you pass out, and let's say that student found an opportunity abroad and it was a good opportunity, so he have to leave the startup, and the other student got, was over dependent on the previous one. So yeah, that may also happen. So you have to, see on the longer run who should be in your team, right? And this, and obviously the interdisciplinary nature will work. Let's say that you're very good in technical terms. So you should not select someone also good in technical terms. You're not creating a competition. You should hire someone who is good in management, right? Who knows how to talk, how to approach the people, or who is very good in finance. You have not much, experience in finance, but if you hire someone who is, master in that, then it will work. Correct. You take care of technical things. The other person will take care of management or finance or sales. So you're understanding, you should complement each other, team members. So we'll discuss all about that later. Anyone else would like to go, or I can go to the next slide? So good. You all are speaking about the expectations from the course, and that's really important, right? For me also and all of your expectations are in line with the contents and the activities of the course. So yes, I hope that at the end of during the last lecture, y'all can again speak out and see how much you have learned or you have experienced yourself. It's about doing things on your own. And I would like to say at the start only, don't think as a part of internal assessment activities. You take this opportunity to learn ahead. Beyond this course also, if I've inspired, let's say 2 or 3 teams also to be an entrepreneur and work on their ideas further, I consider myself, successful in teaching this topic. Okay. If I can inspire few of y'all to continue in this, venture idea ahead beyond this course, then that is what is the success of this course, according to me. Okay. So that's my expectation from the course, that out of y'all, few teams, 4 or 5, or I want ideally all of y'all to continue in this, nowadays we require someone to create jobs. Correct. That's a need of an hour. So that is going on rapidly, but we require some more talented people from technical fields. Yeah. So that's my expectation from the course. Okay. So regarding that, it's a short, motivational video from Sir Ratan Tata. So let me begin.
Heard people say this can't be done. It's your job to remove those myths and to get things done. In many ways, we have been critical of and saddened by what has or has not happened in our country. To a great extent, this has been a function of we can't do this or it can't be done. Do not grow with a view that something can't be done and so should not be done. You, in the years ahead, are going to be leaders of this country and shaping the destiny of this country. You look at the world around you, where ideas were born, where individuals started in garages. Where did Microsoft, where did Apple, where did Amazon, where did Google, where did Facebook come from? They came from ideas that people felt something could be done. The technologies that don't require billions of dollars to establish, that don't require hundreds of acres to build, enterprises that are built on innovation that's in your mind, non-traditional, untried, and sometimes risky, but that make a big, big difference in the world of tomorrow. If you speak or sit next to a Nobel laureate, he never tells you that he won a Nobel Prize. Other people tell you. So let humility be your best defense. They came from ideas that people felt something could be done and that they could make a difference. If you think you cannot make a difference, I'd say you very well can make a difference if you so desire. And you shouldn't merely consider yourself successful based on the prosperity you gain for yourself, but you should go home at night feeling satisfied if you have made a difference. That difference is something each one of us can make. We'll have failures and we've had frustrations, but it's a continued commitment that we have to the world around us. My enthusiasm in the new India of tomorrow continues to be there. I continue to feel the need to support enterprising young Indian engineers and scientists. And all of us should be very pleased to play this role and need to support this, because all of us should be keen to unleash the Indian tiger. We haven't done that as yet. So let's all put our hearts and souls behind the fact that this is going to be the new India of tomorrow.
I get inspired every time watching the video. So I take this point, quote from Sir Ratan Tata, that ups and downs in life are very important to keep us going, because a straight line, even in an ECG, means that we are not alive. So that's the motivation which I usually share this video with all the students who are in a very first lecture itself, right? And these are the acknowledgement. I want to acknowledge Professor Salini Gopalakrishna, IUCE course on entrepreneurship, Professor Nilesh Kumar Pandit, Department of Electrical Energy, IIT Bombay, and then the STTP on research areas in technologies for societal and rural development, Google Images, YouTube, and OneNote, right? And what I will do is in the tomorrow's lecture, we have 4 parts. Okay, there are 4 sections in it. So what I will try to cover is in now 5 minutes, I will try to cover 1 part at least, so that I don't rush on onto the next topics in the tomorrow. So it will be easier for me tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, I'm doing things which are not in sequence, but that's fine, right? There is no one to tell us that we have to follow the sequence. No. So this is session number 2, and the part 1 which I was talking about, creative problem solving and idea generation technique. So let's discuss this. I'll take you 5 minutes more and then I'll complete this part 1. Okay. So there are 3 categories of people. First, who know all. Then the second category is total time pass. And the third category is a seeker. That is a student for life learner. You fit in one of these categories only. Then we are not here to prove, but we are here to improve. We are not here to impress, but to express. So, earlier we had, the 3 famous monkeys, and now we have this in the digital world. Do not, keep your microphone mute, you don't speak, and your videos are off. And normally this is the trend which is in online classes is going on, right? Neither no one turns on their camera, neither they speak, nor they, some of them here also. So that's not conventionally true, but most of the cases it is. So, you should learn to play, learn and grow together, right? As a part of a team. So now you tell me what comes to your mind when you see this. Again, you can speak. What comes to your mind when you see these pictures?
Innovation. Jugaad.
Yes, perfectly said. It's the Indian version of innovative solution, right? Yeah. There's no right or wrong thing. See the same thing. The photo on the left, that was when the pandemic started. So yeah, that's a kind of a solution which they have sorted out for. So how many of you think that you are creative? I guess everyone should say yes, you're creative in one way or the other, right? In your own way, everyday life, you're creative. So now complete this statement. What is creativity to you? Complete the sentence. Creativity is. Come on, we don't require invitation for speaking. Please go ahead. What is creativity to you? No one will be judged. Yeah, come on.
So
Sir,
creativity is create something that is not present right now, but we can shape something out of nothing.
Okay, well, other
unconventional thinking.
unconventional thinking. Yeah, good. Any other answers? Thinking out of the box, right? Yeah, I mean, all fall in line, and there is no wrong. Everyone is right in this, your own version of creativity. So it's the ability to imagine or inventing new things that can turn around not only a big organization, small or medium enterprise, and even individuals. Okay. So, creativity is intelligence having fun, right? That was the quote of Albert Einstein. So creativity is ability to generate multiple solutions to a problem, right? Ability to generate multiple solutions to a problem. So let's say that you have one solution right now, but you offer multiple solutions to a same problem, and that too in a creative manner. So that is what this creativity means in general. So, the practical solutions to operate the lift during COVID-19, right? So, this is one example. You might have seen also, right? You cannot use your fingers to touch that button of first floor or second floor. Say this was one creative solution, practical solution to operate lifts during COVID-19, that they have used foot wherein you can press and that will take you to the desired flow. Okay. So this is one of the creative solution. So let us learn from each other, right? So here there is this very, useful quote also. So I met a man with $1. We exchange dollars. We still have $1, right? Now listen carefully. I met a man with an idea. We exchange ideas, and now we have both have two ideas. Okay, you understood this quote? So you deal in terms of transactions, to interactions. That is how you if you think, okay, this is my idea, someone will take it away. No, it will not happen. If you're very passionate about it, no one can take your idea away from you. Then there is a difference between creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Creativity is thinking about ideas and thinking about multiple solutions. Innovation is implementing those ideas. What is entrepreneurship?
Selling those ideas.
Yes, correct. Start running. You have implement. I mean, you have the ideas, you implemented them. Now start to sell your ideas. Absolutely correct. And what is? I mean, if you see in around, everyone is selling the idea. Zomato, Uber, Swiggy. Everyone is doing that, right? You see the right from the start, morning till the evening. Everyone is doing that only, selling the ideas, your service, your product. So this is what entrepreneurship, comes into picture. So during the COVID-19, normally you see a shop, full of your, accessories, clothes, and all that. There was a shop which had a designer mask, and that worked, right? 50% off on mask. We never heard of this thing before the pandemic, right? So this is what creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship has done. Then BC and AD. So there is something called as before Corona, after distancing AD, and during Corona. So creativity is the only tool which will keep you relevant in AD after distancing. So now let's talk about human brain. Let's quickly. So left and right brain. The left and right brain are activating certain, your different emotions over here, and different emotions which are activated in the left and right brain. So right brain consists of pictures, colors. You identify the rhythm, the space, the imagination, and the left brain numbers, words, logic, and details and the lists. Okay, so this will give you more relevant picture, the left and the right brain, right? So your left brain is all about symbols, logic, judgment, mathematics, data analysis. So all your engineer's mind, okay? comes in left brain. Right brain is all about creativity, dreaming, feeling, intuition, colors, artist, those who learn art, those who learn how to draw, their imagination is very, very good, right? So the right brain is more active than the left brain. So your right brain left behind, your creativity level decreases according to a survey. For a 5 years old child, the creativity level is 98%. Okay. In a 10-year-old child, the creativity level is around 30%, and 15-year-old, and you can see the trend. It goes on increasing. I mean, decreasing, right? So yeah, probably while you are young, you can be more creative, correct? And the children in the age group of 2 to 5 years or 6 years are the most creative part, right? So you tap into your childhood. You be like a child. We will come back to the slides later on. So there is this short video now. Listen, look carefully. So in which direction was, the illusion was moving, anti-clockwise or clockwise? You can watch the complete video later on, I'll share. So it's all depends upon our perception. Okay. So yeah, I think that was the last part on in part 1. From part 2 of creative problem solving and idea generation techniques, we'll be continuing and resuming tomorrow. Okay. So I guess that's it for today. And we will be continuing the creative problem solving and idea generation techniques tomorrow. So thank you everyone for joining and have a good day.